Hi, this is Majinoni, and I'm going to do a review with Robert Kirkman's Invincible comic. You may know Kirkman from some Marvel comics that he did, um, Walking Dead from Image, Brit from Image, and a few other titles. Um, there's going to be some spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil anything like on this end of the storyline, because Volume 12 is the latest trade that came out. It'll be more towards the beginning. And I think by now, most of the spoiler stuff shouldn't be that much of a surprise. Basically, with Invincible, you have a story of Mark. Mark is the son of an alien. Just imagine he's Superman. And imagine Superman came to Earth, he married Lois Lane, then they had a kid, and that kid's Mark. Now, imagine Superman, he's the most powerful human or powerful superhero on the side of good, and everybody thinks that he's the greatest thing known to mankind. Well, turns out Superman has a dark past, and he's not exactly who he says he is. Luckily for us, Mark, he rebels against his father, who's actually Omni-Man. And basically, Omni-Man makes Mark an offer saying, this is your true origin, this is what you're supposed to do, and you're going to help me. And Mark goes, I don't think so, and they have a huge fight. The fight's televised over the world, and then many people die, get killed, injured, just massive destruction, and Omni-Man goes off into space and leaves Mark. So, after that happens, the bulk of the story is Mark basically readjusting to his life without his dad, knowing that his dad was basically a traitor, and in a way, he's trying to make amends. It's not like that's his driving force, because his driving force is he wants to help people, but there is a part of it is the fact that, what his father was, and he's trying to make right. Now, what's actually kind of cool about this story is it's written by one person, Robert Kirkman, so it's his vision from start to finish. You don't have 18 different writers and artists coming in, monkeying around with things, changing things, like something they don't agree with, they get rid of type thing. None of that stuff's going on here. Now, what we have also is a story of, it's not just him being a superhero Invincible. You also get the out-of-costume drama. Just picture like early Spider-Man. You have Mark going to college, failing out of college because he can't go to class because he's constantly being on call to save the world. He's got girl problems. He's got a human girlfriend who has no powers named Amber. How is she going to handle the fact that he's always going off and, disappearing at a moment's notice? While there's Eve, who is actually, a superhero, understands what's going on, understands him as a person better, but yet, she had a relationship earlier, and they missed their chance to connect, type thing. There's a large cast of characters that come in. There's aliens. There's that amazing the Wolfman character from Image. Later on in this volume, there's guest stars like from Youngblood, Cyberforce, Hit, Savage Dragon, all sorts of things. And also there's like a large cast of normal characters like, regular characters such as like the Global Guardians. There's just superheroes popping up everywhere. So in a sense, he's creating his own universe. And, like the Global Guardians would be something like the JLA type thing. And everything, like all those guys are being run by the government. Basically they get a steady paycheck, they get headquarters, access to tech, medical needs, things like that. But they're also on call. It's like when there's a problem, they have to go right then and there, which is part of Mark's problem. Now, I won't say anything more about that storyline, but there's a lot more going on to it than that. And it's not necessarily good or bad, it's just there's a lot more that's going on in there. I don't want to spoil that kind of stuff for you. One thing that's interesting about Mark, and really realistic, is the fact that you have a superhero who's learning his powers, and who's incredibly strong, and pretty much almost near invulnerable. So what happens is, as he's fighting people, every once in a while there's some casualties. Like this, as you can see from this picture here, this kind of stuff does happen, and this kind of stuff does happen on a regular basis. Not just to Mark, Invincible, but it happens to villains. I mean, he will punch a villain his face to mush, and then realize what he did after the fact type thing. So you have that kind of a realism to it, where you have a superhero who just doesn't know his own strength, and he's got anger management problems. So, that's actually a recurring theme that's been building up from early on in the story, and I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to lead, especially later on, especially like after this. Mark's made some startling, I don't want to say observations, but he's come to some startling conclusions by the end of this volume. If you like I said, I mean, obviously you're watching this, you like superhero titles, and I would highly recommend just start picking these things up, these trades. You can get the single trades like this, or they have more collected trades, like, there's like volumes 1 through 5 or whatever, how much in trade paperback. No matter how you get it, I would highly recommend picking up Invincible. This is better, in my opinion, this is better than most of the Marvel and DC stuff that's out there. Just because you have one vision. It's, like I said, it's one Robert Kirkman. He's an amazing writer as it is, and it's one vision from start to finish. It's telling a whole continual story. I mean, like, I just can't pull out volume 11 and expect to understand what's going on. Like Spider-Man, you can skip a storyline here and there, and it's like nothing. It's no big deal. This, you can't skip it. It's one big event. I guess you could say one big story. And when he does big battles, it's really big battle. It's like knock them down, blood, teeth flying, limbs breaking. It's really bloody, and there's a lot of blood. So if you like that, that's a plus. So on a scale of like 1 to 10, I would say right now, Invincible is a 9, and especially since I'm coming off of volume 12, and I know what's coming up in volume 13. It's easily a very, very strong 9, and even as it's been building up for me, it's been a solid title. I just hate myself for not reading Invincible earlier. So I'm warning everybody out there, if you haven't started Invincible, start it tomorrow. It's a new comic day tomorrow. I expect everybody out there to buy first trade at least. So until next time, tell me, if you do like Invincible, or you're willing to pick it up and give it a try. Leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel, and until next time.